Hello people of YouTube, welcome to Akis Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you the proper way to make a classic recipe that we will love. Chicken risotto. A delicious and creamy risotto perfectly combined with tender chicken fillets that will take this dish to the next level. I promise it's easier than it looks. So let's begin. We need a pot on medium to high heat. And first we have to prepare our chicken. I will use chicken breast, but if you want, you can use the thighs, whatever you like. Now, take a knife, take the fillets and cut them into small pieces, like this. Don't put big chunks of meat into the risotto. It's not so nice because we need in one mouthful to have a little bit of everything. So we want to have small pieces of chicken. Then we have to cook in different times the chicken and the risotto. We don't want to overcook the chicken, but we want to cook it. So first we will start by sauté the chicken. Then we will take off the chicken and carry on the procedure of the risotto. And after a little bit, we will add again the chicken inside the risotto. We need some olive oil and of course Greek, but if you want to buy Italian olive oil for this recipe, it's not okay for me, but you can buy it. You have free market, you can buy whatever you want. Italian olive oil is good, not as Greek, but it's good, okay? You can buy Spanish, Italian or Greek, whatever you want, okay? Now, can you see this smoke? I have nothing inside the pan, but my pan is smoking because it's very hot. We want that, we want to be very hot. So add the chicken inside the hot pot and we want to saute the chicken. We want to make it sexy. Because if you saute the chicken, then this lovely crust outside of the chicken is also mean that the chicken is what is tasty. Crust is tastiness. Now, 1 onion and 1 garlic. You can use as much onion as you want. I will go with 1 small onion. Just simply dice it into small cubes like this. Bravo. And of course, 1 clove of garlic. Now, my onion and garlic is ready. Before you take it off the heat, you have to add all the spices. I have a little bit of curry here. You like curry? Everybody loves curry. So I will add the curry, I will add the chili flakes, and I will stir everything together. And as you can see, my chicken from white become what? Yellow and chili. Now, we have to carry on. Again, in the same pan, add a little bit of olive oil. And when I'm saying a little, I mean 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We need oil at this point because we need to cook the risotto. Now, onion and garlic goes in. Now, it's time for herbs. I have here some thyme. Do you like thyme? Everybody loves thyme. Because thyme goes with everything. If you're cooking something and you don't know what herb to add in your recipe, just add thyme. Thyme is always good with everything. Now, I will add also a little bit of rosemary, because I like rosemary. And now it's time to add the Mr. Risotto. And I will lower the heat because it's a little bit of theory here. And we have to discuss about that. Why we have to add the rice at this point and saute the rice. Very simple, I will tell you. Risotto rice has the ability to melt inside the pot. So if we don't sear it, it will completely melt and become mass. And it's something that we don't want, right? Right. So you have to saute it to give some body to the rice and it will not melt otherwise. Now, we want to saute and sear the rice. And just for your info, there are 3 basic types of rice for risotto. The most common is arborio, the one we use today, is carnaroli and viellone nano. 3 big categories of rice. Arborio is the most easy to handle in your kitchen. If you want to use another rice, you can, but they are more difficult, they are more professional rices, okay? So, as you can see, my rice become a little bit yellow. We want that, and this is the point that we will deglaze the pot. With what? White wine. Good quality Italian or Greek white wine, okay? So add the wine, a little bit of sugar, and if you want to add wine, you have to completely evaporate it. If you don't, please do not add the wine, because if you carry on cooking with the wine inside the pot and add more liquid, then the flavor of the risotto will be acid and not nice. We don't want that. So wait a minute until you see that the pot is completely drained from liquid. Can you see that? And you have to behave the rice like a sponge. You have to give it water and take all the water from the rice. Giving water, take all the water from the rice. You got it? You got it? Makes sense? You understand, okay? When the wine is completely evaporated, can you see that? It's time to add in batches our stock. You can use any stock you like. I will use chicken stock, obviously, because we are making a chicken risotto. If you want to use another stock, you can, but chicken is the best option you have. Now, add a little bit of stock until you cover the rice. Can you see that? Now, you have to cook slowly. Do not put on high heat, because if you put on high heat, the water will completely evaporate in minutes, so you need a lot of stock. And we don't want to add tons of stock inside the pot, because it will be very dense and very powerful, the flavor. And this is something we don't want. So, when the stock goes off, then we're giving more stock to the risotto. Sponge theory. One more thing, the most important part of risotto recipe, you have to add the stock hot, because we stop cooking the risotto all the time. We all the time cooking the outside layer of the rice and not the inside. So we'll have a risotto that's actually half cooked, because in the middle will be undercooked and outside of the middle it will be overcooked. You got it?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, hot stock inside the rice. We need about 15 to 18 minutes until it's ready. And when the first stock goes off, we will add a little bit more stock to cover the rice and carry on the same procedure. Now, at this point, it's time to add again in the pot what? Mr. Chicken. Mr. Chicken goes in, and something good is about to happen. What is that? The most delicious chicken risotto ever. I will carry on the same procedure, and after about 15 minutes, the risotto will be ready and we will serve it. I will show you the perfect way to serve it. Keep stirring and see you back in 15 minutes. And my risotto is ready. And the best way to understand if it's ready or not is with a spoon. You have to taste it. The rice is al dente, but you have to remember that after this time, the risotto will carry on cooking for about 5 to 6 minutes. So, can you see how the consistency is right now? As you can see, it's quite runny. There is a lot of starch in the liquid, but this is the point that we actually going to take off the heat the risotto, because now we will take down the temperature by adding butter. Off the heat, always off the heat. Stir a little bit the butter until completely melts. And when you're adding butter inside a liquid and you stir, always the liquid becomes thicker. Can you see that? Also, when you add Parmesan cheese, always the liquid becomes what? Thicker. It was so runny before 1 minute, and can you see that? The texture now is perfect. If you go to a restaurant and you served a perfectly shaped risotto in a cookie cutter, then something wrong is happening, because the risotto is overcooked. The risotto has to be runny, has to be like this, and at this point you have to try salt and pepper, the seasoning, because we add the Parmesan cheese and the Parmesan cheese is quite salty. And probably you will not need to add any salt and pepper, but if your Parmesan cheese is not salty enough, you have to add a little bit more salt and pepper. I will not add pepper now because I will add at the very end. And it's time to serve. Before I serve, I will add a little bit of lemon. We need some acidity. Always remember to add a little bit of acidity in all risottos because we add at the very end the butter and the cheese, which are quite buttery, so the acidity always take down the fatty flavor of all the fats we add to the end. Now, the zest of 2 lemons and the lemon juice of not even half lemon, just a squeeze. Just a squeeze of lemon will give this boost we want to the risotto. Look at this, perfection. And actually, you have to remember again that if you can see, the risotto is completely hot right now, and it will carry on cooking during you going this dish to the table or to the customer. So it has to be runny at this point, and in few minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, it will be more thick. Now, look at this. Everything in perfection. Look at this. Amazing. I think this is a big portion, and now it's time for freshly ground pepper. Oh my God. Do not be chippy. Maybe I will add a little bit of lemon if somebody wants to add a little bit more lemon to his chicken. A little bit of thyme because we want nice color to the risotto. Voila. Perfection. And what did I forget? Extra virgin. Extra virgin Greek olive oil to the end because we love the taste of olive oil. And this is it. It's time for me to taste. And can you see that? It's already thick enough. Can you see that? When the time passes, the risotto becomes more and more thick. You have to remember that. And this is the point that you cannot stop eating. Subscribe, make comments under the video, and of course, share this lovely recipe with your friends and prepare this lovely recipe for your friends. See you next time. Bye bye, Yasos.